Hi guys, so our much awaited CLAT 2020 is finally over now, and a lot of aspirants texted me, mailed me saying that the paper was really lengthy and there were a lot of questions that they could not even read. और उसके अलावा कुछ questions that they could not understand. So there is this controversy that a lot of questions in the question paper as well as in the answer key, the answers are wrong. But that is something that they can improve on next year. Today we're going to discuss certain lessons that you can take from CLAT 2020 so that you don't repeat these mistakes in CLAT 2021. Okay, so this video holds a lot of importance for people who are taking a drop year for CLAT 2021 and for fresh CLAT 2021 aspirants. Okay, so the advantage for this year's CLAT aspirants is that if you decide to take a drop, okay, अगर आप 2021 में भी CLAT देना चाहते हो, then the gestation period is really less. Generally, when we do CLAT and we're not able to do well, और हम सोचते हैं that we'll do it again next year, you have to wait for a year again. This time, it's not going to be more than 7.5 months. So, which is a good news for most of you. So you guys can prepare again and see where you went wrong and you can improve on those mistakes. Okay. So I have called out three very important points that you guys have to understand and follow it very properly all through your preparation, which is going to help you a hell lot. Okay. So the first important thing was reading newspaper editorials. मैंने बहुत सारे इससे पहले स्ट्रैटेजी के वीडियोस किए हैं एंड आई टोल्ड यू गाइस दैट न्यूज़पेपर एडिटोरियल्स होल्ड अ लॉट ऑफ इंपॉर्टेंस फॉर क्लैट 2020 और जो बेसिकली न्यू पैटर्न आया ना आगे भी जितने भी क्लैट होंगे इट होल्ड्स अ लॉट ऑफ इंपॉर्टेंस. ठीक है, बट मोस्ट ऑफ यू आई वुड से डिड नॉट रीड दीज एडिटोरियल्स ऑन अ डेली बेसिस. ठीक है, आपने स्टार्ट किए हफ्ता 10 दिन किया और उसके बाद में छोड़ दिया. यू वर नॉट रेगुलर विद इट. बट आपने देखा होगा पर्टिकुलरली इन दी लॉजिकल रीजनिंग सेक्शन and the current affairs section, most of the passages were from newspaper editorials. ठीक है, द हिंदू के editorials, हिंदुस्तान टाइम्स के editorials, इंडियन एक्सप्रेस, these kind of editorials were given in most of the passages. अगर हमने वो editorials ठीक से पढ़े होते उस टाइम पे, ठीक है, then we always have an idea as to what was that editorial all about. हमने उसके notes बनाए होते properly. However, we couldn't do it. And we didn't do it, but that is fine. Okay, this is one opportunity, you get another opportunity every year so you can improve your mistake. Now other thing is कि how do we read newspaper editorials, because हमने देखा कि 5-6 newspapers अलग अलग से questions बन के आए थे, तो हम सारे तो नहीं पढ़ सकते obviously, because so what I suggest is you guys choose 2 newspapers. द हिंदू उसमें कंपलसरी होगा because द हिंदू सबसे ज्यादा आने के चांसेस होते हैं in एग्जाम लाइक क्लैट. उसके अलावा you can choose any other newspaper, be it Economic Times, be it Hindustan Times, or any newspaper for that matter. But other than that, if there is a very important current affair that you're preparing for, okay, say it's a new education policy that you guys are preparing. This topic is very important for CLAT 2021 also. So say you're preparing for this topic, make sure that you type new education policy editorials on Google. You'll see a lot of newspaper editorials other than The Hindu और जो भी आपने newspaper पढ़े हैं उसके अलावा भी. Make sure you read those newspaper editorials also, because वो question कहीं से भी आ सकता है, because that is a very important current affair. ठीक है, तो जनरली हमें 2 ही पढ़ने हैं, बट ऐसा कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट है देन वी हैव टू रीड अ लॉट. ठीक है, रीड ऑलमोस्ट एवरीथिंग दैट इज देयर ऑन इट with respect to the newspaper editorials. Now the second lesson that we can take from here is that a lot of you could not attempt all the questions. Attempt से मेरा मतलब है you could not see all the questions, therefore you could not go through all the questions properly, तो आप देख ही नहीं पाए उनको. ये एक बहुत बड़ा रीजन होता है where students tend to score really less. ठीक है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं 130 क्वेश्चंस देख पाया और जो पूरे 140 और या 150 क्वेश्चंस देख पाया है उसको एक क्लियर एडवांटेज है मुझसे 10 और 20 क्वेश्चन का, बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली दैट पर्सन कैन आंसर मोर क्वेश्चंस करेक्टली, राइट? नाउ व्हाई डज दिस हैपन विद अ लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स इज बिकॉज यू डू नॉट प्रैक्टिस एनफ. Okay, why am I saying this is because I talked to a lot of students who could do only 120 questions, 110 questions, and I asked them कि तुमने कितने mock tests किए थे पिछले एक साल में. They said they did 10-11 mock tests. And that is not enough. Okay, ask anybody who could do 150 questions. They did at least 20 mock tests during their preparation. Okay, new pattern, it takes a lot of time to get used to this pattern. So it becomes very important for you guys to do a lot of mock tests. Or mock test series, if you're preparing from home, you're not taking any coaching, you can also buy good mock test series. So there are a lot of good institutions which actually provide you good mock tests at a very cheap cost. Okay, so you can actually afford that, and that is very important if you want to do well in an exam like CLAT. Okay, so make sure that by the end of next year, not the end of next year, I mean by CLAT 2021, you guys have prepared at least 20 mocks properly and you guys analyze it. ठीक है, mocks करके उसको properly analyze करो, what mistakes you are making, note that down and try to make sure that you avoid that mistake जब तुम अगली बार उस mock को करो. That makes a lot of difference क्योंकि उसको समझ में आता है कि what kind of questions may be asked. Because you see, mocks are of very different types. Okay, so there will be some mocks that will be able to do in say 110 minutes. कुछ mocks ऐसे होंगे you won't be able to do in 120 minutes because they're very lengthy. जैसे CLAT 2020 का पेपर था, right? So जब आप बहुत ज़्यादा mocks दोगे, you get an idea as to how to attempt those papers. क्योंकि अगले साल भी पेपर lengthy आ सकता है, right? We cannot do much about it. So make sure that you're prepared for the worst. और ये तभी हो सकता है जब आप mocks properly दोगे और ज़्यादा mocks दोगे, ठीक है? And analyze them properly. That is again a very important thing. The third lesson or the last lesson for this video that I'm going to discuss with you today is how to prepare for general knowledge. So you guys must have watched my videos on current affairs and that is how you have to make proper notes also. With the background story, with the historical background of all the affairs. So when you read a very important current affair, make sure you ask yourself some questions. Okay? And what would be these questions? These questions will be what, how and why. Okay? क्या इससे और कुछ बन सकता है? क्या इससे और कुछ क्वेश्चन आ सकता है? Is there any other current affair supplementing this? ठीक है? And CLAT has this pattern of the consortium. They'll start this pattern of asking a lot of questions which relates to our country. Okay? तो अगर कोई इंटरनेशनल करंट अफेयर भी होगा, they will definitely try and ask you कि इसका इंडिया पे क्या इफेक्ट पड़ेगा, right? So make sure कि अगर आप कुछ भी पढ़ रहे हो, for example, you are reading about the Palestine-Israel treaty or you're reading about anything, you're reading about elections in US जो कि अभी होने वाले हैं, ठीक है? मेक श्योर यू अंडरस्टैंड कि इससे इंडिया पे क्या इफेक्ट पड़ेगा. एडिटोरियल्स में डेफिनेटली बहुत ज्यादा देखा जाएगा बिकॉज एडिटोरियल्स में ये चीजें आती है. दीज आर सर्टेन ओपिनियंस ऑफ वेरी हाईली क्वालिफाइड स्कॉलर्स जो कि एडिटोरियल्स में होती है एंड यू गाइज विल हैव अ सेंस ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हेन यू रीड एडिटोरियल्स प्रॉपर्ली. So make sure that you understand general knowledge and current affairs with proper background and you ask yourself these very important questions while preparing for current affairs. इसके अलावा अगर और भी कोई डाउट्स हैं आपको because of which you couldn't do CLAT 2020 well, you can always mail it to me on my email ID which is mentioned in the description box. I've also attached the link of my Instagram account. You can always message me. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions on text also. That's it about this session. If you like our sessions, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss any updates from us. Keep liking us, keep following us. Thank you.